Welcome to the Gun Review, the show where we'll be testing the best guns and gear of the moment.
Wow, look at that! Johnny, age 5. I was not ready for that.
Not all tests will be scientific, but I can promise you there'll be a lot of fun.
If you need an unfair advantage, just use your own shooting techniques.
Joining me in this quest is Ryan and Big Mike. In today's episode, we shoot 3 rifles, one from the 20s, one from the 70s, and one from 2024.
This week we're going to be testing old rifles versus new rifles.
That's a good concept.
They've come a very long way in the last 150 years.
A lot of engineering's changed. A lot of processes have changed, but does it mean they're better or worse?
Well, we'll find out shortly, but first, news. The first bit of news is it is the British Shooting Show very shortly, and we will see you there.
We will be doing meet and greets as well. Times to be confirmed. We'll be at the Winchester collection, I believe, isn't it?
Right next to the door.
Yeah, come along, say hello, pick our brains, have a photo with Johnny.
All right, time for news.
Browning are bringing out a brand new 525 composite. It looks really, really nice. So we've had it in the past, we've had the Synergy, they've brought the Satori out, but now the 525, which in my opinion is probably one of the greatest workhorses of all time.
Agreed.
They're one of those guns that you can do everything with. And now if you're taking it in a pigeon hide or you want to go on the marshes with it, it's completely synthetic.
Balancing weights in a plastic
Balancing
gun.
weights in the stock, adjustable comb. It's even got matte black barrels, backboard, 3-inch chambers.
The Inflex interchangeable pad system.
Yes.
The Synergy with the bent shims.
Yeah, I think so far they're saying it's about €2,500.
Oof.
So she's not going to be cheap by the time she comes into the UK.
Couple of grand, if I would have thought you'd see it on shop shelves for 21.
Yeah, I would have thought so, which is in like the grade 2, grade 3 sort of range if you're going to be buying a wood one.
Yeah, and people often make synthetics to be cheap, but actually it's nice to see someone investing in one. Michael?
FX have released a new rifle. It's called the King. Takes that Pantera AMP regulator system, but in a bit more traditional stock. Stock's made by GRS. Fully adjustable laminate. Got the MP regulator in it as well, the side manometers. Brown, Nordic grey, or I believe the green as well.
That's cool. Well, because I don't want to do something tactical or plastic, I am going to bring to the table one of the more controversial guns. Often a gun gets released and I get messages and there's lots of people who converse with me about dumb stuff. This particular one wound a lot of people up and I'm not sure why. It is the 486 Parallelo Copernicus.
It sounds fancy.
It is done to honour Nicholas Copernicus, who was an astronomer who decided for the first time that Earth was not the centre of the universe, but the Sun was the centre of the universe.
Oh, not Jonathan Carter?
No, incorrect.
Oh, okay. I've got that completely wrong.
Science has come a long way in 550 years.
Yeah.
They maybe want to update that gun to put my face instead of the Sun.
Yeah, I think all guns should have your face on.
But on a serious note, this gun is engraved with like the night skies, the stock. It's got an engraving and painting, or I believe it's probably enamel, I'm not entirely sure, can't wait to get my hands on it one day, of the solar system. It's got the moon on the side lever. It's just
Sounds
sick
stunning.
gun art. And people are like, oh, I don't like it. You don't have to like it. It's like catwalk fashion versus high street fashion. People will always buy high street fashion, but catwalk fashion is what experiments with new stuff.
It's nice to see something different and then breaking the mould, like the Sly gun that they done, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see him doing something different.
Why not? Right?
Yeah, why not? Why not show off what you can do?
All right, it's 2 degrees outside, so I suggest we get somewhat more clothed and go and find some guns.
As I've decided to develop facial hair from the 80s, I decided to pick the rifle from the 80s as well. This is a Parker Hale in 270. Mauser-based action, so you can see there with the split ridge. Safety on the back end here, wooden stock of course, nice recoil pad in the back, and as this is not moderated, a nice soft recoil pad, being in 270, will help. Fed off with a nice little leather sling there, and topped off is a Nikko 6x32 scope. Seeing as everything that was better in the 80s, including facial hair, I think we've got this in the bag.
In honour of Bruce coming back to the British Shooting Show, I thought I'd pick an Australian rifle. So I've gone for a Lithgow in 308, top with a Zeiss, tier 1 mounts, DPT moderator. So I'm going for the modern option to see if I can beat these two with these old guns.
I have a rifle here that is over 100 years old. It is a Lee Speed in 303 British. A legend has it that Ryan actually bought this gun new. He is so old. I'm not hoping to win anything other than the most classy gun here. I know how accurate this rifle is. Not very. I know how reliable this gun is. Very. We should be able to hit the paint cans from 25 yards. Should be able to hit that pheasant from 120 yards. All I do know is that I'm damn sure this is the most fun gun here.
After some more serious testing, we were gonna do some art. Inspired by the nutty artist William S. Burroughs, we grabbed our rifles, some spray paint and some canvas. Setting out to change sporting art as we know it.
I think we should film all of Series 3 in the summer.
Yeah,
In
we
Spain.
said that last time.
We did.
But then
today's
Oh, we filmed most
Then
of it
you
in the summer.
cancel all of
Yeah,
that.
well, there's
too
problem.
busy.
Because
Yeah.
your life went, that's our problem.
Do you remember episode 2 where you said it is your problem? That is what being friends is all about. I say let's start with an accuracy test at 50 yards. 2-shot or 3-shot group.
Yeah, I'm feeling confident on this one.
You touching my gun?
I'm pulling out,
You
I'm
sabotage.
pulling out your magazine stock.
I was going to do that as part of my cool loading procedure.
All right.
Look, I don't have a
All
lot of tech
right,
on this
calm
gun.
down.
A mag cut-off is my tech. Look at that.
Right.
Ready? I'd move around the back, Sasha. This is going to be bloody loud. I got all carried away.
It was a bit of a mad minute, it was.
It was fun!
One of the nicest looking rifles.
In the world ever.
Yeah.
And she shoots well enough to kill a deer at 50 yards, maybe. That said, I just launched those bullets down there. I'm gonna go, let's go look at that group. Oi, that's not
That's
bad,
not bad,
group.
actually.
I'm quite impressed.
My man.
Very impressed. Well done, JC.
I practiced that rifle a little, but maybe a year and a half ago is the last time I picked it up.
I think you've got a lot to follow from.
I've got a lot of expectations, haven't I?
Very, very nice.
In.
Right, Michael, come on. Let's see what you can do with that 270. I mean, that is screaming out for a moderator.
Oh, I tell you what,
Well, I mean, the pheasant's still alive, Michael, but
skirt's a bit off, but I'm happy with that.
it'll be interesting to see what happens when we start pushing them a bit further out.
No, we didn't.
Well, no, I neck shotted it. I mean, I win on group. I've got a tighter group.
Engineering has come on so far.
Oh, massively.
The level of precision and what tolerances people work to now are well in excess of what people were working to 150 years ago.
Oh, massively.
Or at least the ease with which they can get there is way better.
It's the guaranteed accuracy out the box that they give you nowadays.
You can buy, what, a £500-600 rifle that will shoot an inch?
Yeah,
You can buy a £1,500 rifle that will shoot bullet on bullet. It's insane.
yeah.
So I think with rifles, most people just care about accuracy. That's the number one thing.
Yeah, accuracy, workhorse.
Number two thing is tactility. Is that a word, I guess? How is it to operate?
Yeah, I suppose we could say that's a word.
Because you don't really get unreliable bolt action rifles, do you?
No.
Only in maybe feed and ammo selection, but most of that is down to correct ammo choice for your chambering.
Yeah.
Aesthetics we need to talk about as well. Because
Aesthetics. Do people care about aesthetics with most rifles? I think that's quite a small portion
I
of
think
the market. I'd say 90% want
nowadays,
plastic.
more people want Cerakote synthetic, something they don't care about.
It depends on application. It also depends how you look at firearms.
I think looking at the table here, you can see over time how that's changed.
Oh, massively.
Glued wood.
This is a beautiful rifle made at a time when guns were beautiful, when they were used for sporting purposes. Given that sporting purpose guns were generally used by people with a few quid.
Whereas now, these sort of rifles are accessible to most shooters.
Aesthetics aside, it's extremely easy to use. It's a super user-friendly rifle.
It's incredibly slick.
Yeah, the action design on these is legendary, as we know, but even to load, everything about it is hand regulated, so it's an easy rifle to use. The trigger is, for the age, exceptionally good, and if it had a scope, it would probably be easier to shoot, but actually looking down these sights, it's as good as you need it to be.
And you wouldn't want to ruin a gun that looks like that by putting a scope on top of it, unless it was off era.
Period correct,
Yes.
yeah, 100%. But it's interesting then to see Michael's gun.
This is obviously from the 70s and 80s period, where more of your everyday men were still getting into stalking.
There was a lot less fine gun making going around as well. Like, this is an era where gun makers are 10 a penny.
Yeah.
At this point in time, less so.
Yes. And, you know, your everyday man didn't need quite that quality, shall we say.
No.
They just wanted something to work.
I mean, the 80s were a good period, but I'm not sure they're a good period for gun making.
It's not pretty, is it?
Yeah, the 70s and 80s are perhaps the most derided gun-making era of all time.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Very strong action, though, being a Mauser-based action.
So many guns are still based on the Mauser, aren't they? The 98 action. So
Ruger
many of them.
M77s, they work.
It's a fantastic gun, but it's pig ugly.
Yeah.
It hasn't aged well. Maybe in 20 years' time it will start to come back into fashion.
And it's super loud in 270.
Real man's caliber.
Yeah.
But it is interesting, this is the real transition up until the modern era, where guns are getting more and more practical and more for the everyman.
Yeah, completely. You look at everything this has got on it now, there's not a lot that you would want to do. You put a good set of optics on it and you're ready to go. You get it dirty, you brush it off, it's fine.
Cerakoted, bedded, synthetic stock.
No wood to dent. It's just a usable workhorse that you could get thousands and thousands of rounds out of without having any issue.
The Tim Tammer rifles.
Yeah, Tim Tammer rifles.
Moderate.
It certainly is.
Moderators as well.
The Anzac. But if I had to pick one out of looks, it's going to be the Lee Speed all day long. But if I got to pick one out of being practical and a workhorse, it's going to be something along these lines.
And if I had to pick one for price, because I had, you know, a very tight budget, what's that worth? 150 quid?
It's going to be about that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose you can go in Holtz and probably pick one of these up for 100 quid, I would have thought, with a scope on it.
And if it's that good at 50, it should be good at 100. But we're about to find
We'll find out.
Right, no breathing because you might wobble the bench.
Yeah, don't wobble me. Michael, stop it. If you need an unfair advantage, just use your own shooting techniques. Oi. This is not funny. I would not do this to you. I treat you two with nothing but respect. Stand all over. Stop it! Good luck, Michael.
Do you want one of those old granddads to load it for you, Michael?
I'm glad we're not in a battle situation because Michael would be dead by now. Woo! It's quite offensive, if anything.
I'm glad I live in a country where moderators are readily available.
Yeah.
Can you imagine hunting one of those on a daily basis? I love that gun. Like, that brings so much joy to me. Like, when people
see
shoot
why.
old side-by-sides, I kind of get it, but with this, I get it. This is a Land Rover.
Yeah.
That's any other reliable car.
Yeah, good point. And I drive a Land Rover.
All right.
Oh, that's quite surprising, actually. Surprising yours.
It's not ideal, but I should have just
open
aimed for the
sights.
centre, but I didn't know how far out I was.
I did tell you I think you'd be surprised. Michael's 270,
2.5 inches,
my 3 there.
inch group at 100 yards.
Yeah.
All done confirming our predictions, it was time for the art to start. The principle here is simple. Shoot the spray paint near the canvas to try and create unique paintings.
So I'm thinking, I'm going for a nice little landscape picture. So I've gone green first, blue for the sky as well up there, and finally some red for a little maybe volcano over here.
All right, Michael, are you ready to be the first ever gun review artist?
That was dramatic.
I mean, we experimented with a half-empty can. It wasn't that good. This changes the game.
I mean, I hate decorating, and I think I've just found a new way to decorate my house.
Your slave?
Lay it on the ground, please.
Lay it on the ground for you, Michael. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow, look at that.
That's quite good, actually, isn't it?
I think we found a new art form. I'm going to go for the primer first. Lay a good base coat down, and then pick other colours.
Nice.
Oh,
Very nice base coat. I just leave it as is. That's real art.
I'm going to go for a green, Michael.
Right at the back edge of the board. So
Out a little bit. That's it, about there.
Oh, randomness is quite exciting, isn't it? Like,
Well, it's a fun way of painting.
this is actually genuinely good. I'm going to put these in my house.
I'm going to go for yellow next,
yellow.
Okay.
but I need to raise it a little bit, I think, Michael.
Should we cut your ear off? Heads. But you've got this nice little white patch in the middle.
I like this, man.
I was going to move it further out, but now I see that like splashback in the middle. I quite like it. About there,
Nice one.
I reckon.
Oh my god.
Oh. Now that is art, boys.
Right, we are
artists.
Look at that.
That's really good.
Is that the first art you've ever done?
Oh, well, I've got crayons and stuff at home.
There's a lot of pressure now, you know. These guys have made really beautiful art. I've already had my board pre-painted because the wind has taken the splatter down. I mean, I would just submit that to the art competition. But you've got to use all 4 cans, so we're going to use all 4 cans. And I want to blow it up, so we're going to blow it up. This is interesting. There's a very big difference in MFMJ to expanding.
Very, yeah.
Very. Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Honey. We don't want to do that.
Keep that on film.
So it's hard. I'm not allowed to aim at the box. You just kind of have to.
Whoa.
I have a theory that it could not work.
Well, you got to go with your theory.
You'd be brave.
Go with your convictions.
I want to be brave, yeah. Have courage in your convictions, isn't that what they say?
Yep. He takes it to a whole new level. You got to give him that.
Well, the thing is, you guys tried everything else.
I mean, well done for moving backwards so fast, because that could have got
Well,
messy.
the can flew out of the sky and sprayed paint everywhere. I think I got away with it, just.
Johnny, age 5.
Well, we made a mess.
No, but yeah, look, the splatter's lovely. Yeah, and you managed to paint the post.
I tell you what, sometimes you can have a lot of fun with guns.
You can. I think Art Attack missed something back in the day.
I guarantee about 80% of people watching goes, that's not art. But I happen to really be a huge fan of modern art. I did my GCE
I disagree.
art on it.
This is art, 100%.
Is it exploring creativity? Is it freedom? Is it enjoyable?
It's definitely enjoyable.
This is our last stop at the Spanish Gunmaker store, and we have really enjoyed sharing some of the guns and some of the places we've been with you. And we are here at Arrieta and Arrieta. Arrieta you may have heard of, Arrieta probably not. The company's joined about a decade ago. We're going to be looking at Arrieta here today. Many of you might be thinking Arrieta went out of business, and they did in 2016, but the company was purchased shortly after and relaunched. And they're relaunching in a different way to the rest of the Spanish gun makers, and that is very exciting to see because they're launching in at the top. They want to make the best. And they will still make you what you want, but they want to be known for the best of the best finish, the best qualities. And this is a great example of that. This is an Arrieta over and under side lock. And I have fallen quite smitten with the 3 guns we've looked at here today, 2 of which you may well see another time. This is a true side lock over and under with demi-block barrels. The forend is a rounded forend with this beautiful push button tip here. It's on a single rod, but this gun is regulated by that gentleman over there, and it's regulated to such a high standard, as is the trigger plate, and we will have a look at that in a second because I can't help but show you it, because it's got a detachable trigger, obviously. The demi-block barrels are tuned down on this one to 1,380 grams, 18.5 bore variable. Variable because it's got long forcing cones, and it's got another forcing cone up to the Briley choke in the front, which is a pretty special bit of gun making, really. These barrels are finished by hand by these guys, engraved with Arrieta little breech ends and the gold inlay. My love of gold in guns has only got deeper over this trip. Understanding the history of Damascene guns, blingy gold guns might be the word you'd use for them, has been something wonderful. Understanding that this is actually the cultural centre of where that was made hugely popular, Damascening everything. And I think having a gold in a Spanish gun is actually really important. So we are actually in the Arrieta gunmaking workshop right now, so sorry for the noise. They've got 5 guys who work here, 2 guys down in their Madrid office, 2 guys at the shooting range. It's a nice small company, but they don't need to be large when they're focusing on the best. Maintaining quality is hard, right? Any Spanish gun I own from here on in should have some gold somewhere. Let's have a quick look over it, but I mean, you've seen from the images, this is a beautiful gun. You have a bare walnut stock, but again, the wood at the front is perfect. And that's a real thing speaking to a couple of these Spanish gun makers, because actually they do appreciate fine wood, but they are still obsessed with strength and quality, because that is in the roots of the Spanish gun trade, strength and quality. Copy and improve was a big thing that they said back in the day, and you're not improving by just putting flashier wood on. You need to be putting quality wood on. The action is a true 7-pin side lock. The fences and balls are carved perfectly onto the barrels, and this gun is designed as a lightweight partridge gun. It's 1,380 gram barrels. Most of the barrels on your guns will be somewhere from 1,520 to 1,600, very likely. So this is a really nice, whippy 29-inch multi-choke Briley gun. The metal-to-metal finish is superb. The wood-to-metal finish is truly second to none. And if you're looking for that perfect regulation, you have to go to one of these best gun makers. There is no ifs or buts about it. It's not cheap. This gun doesn't actually have a retail price yet. Since buying the company and developing it, they're still finding their way in the market to get their guns in at a point that is of the best quality, best reliability, and at a price that is affordable, but still makes the company money, because if you're not making money, you're not running a great company. The lockup is on a modified Boss system, and it's a beautiful low-profile action. It's a little lower profile actually than some of the other modified Bosses, and that's no bad thing. It's obviously afforded by the fact it's a demi-block barrel. The lines, the engraving, the gold inlay, even the little gold on the breech ends there. This is a fine gun. I'm watching these guys at work here. The dedication to finish here at Arrieta is something else. The gun is engraved by their in-house engraver, and again, finished and built by their in-house gunsmiths. There's two things I want to draw your attention to. The engraving on the top lever here is stunning. You've got this beautiful texture, and it's actually left with the burrs, and so it's got a little bit of grip to it. That is interesting, because actually when using this in a practical wet situation, you want it to be grippy. And then just the rest of the top lever is stunning. And then underneath the top lever, I've always been a fan of that pattern. I don't even know what it's called, really, but that sort of basket with the little stars on every notch, it's beautiful. You can tell a lot about a gun by its safety catch as well, and just the size and shape is one thing, but the ease and quality of that movement is something else. But before we go and leave Arrieta and go back to England, let me just show you this. This is Arrieta's detachable trigger gun, and that is something that most gun companies use as their B-grade gun, which is strange, seeing as the detachable trigger is stronger and generally more reliable than a side lock. I understand that inletting a side lock and the work to get a stock that operates like that in a single trigger unit that operates successfully is difficult. But these guys have taken the concept slightly differently, and they've finished this and regulated this to the same standards. And the thing I want to show you, although I'd love to show you this gun in whole, is this. We pull the safety catch backwards, off of safe, and all the way back. The trigger unit pops out. The quality of the regulation of this trigger unit and how it pops in, how it pops out, the engraving, the finish is truly world class. This is the sort of gun making that does an awful lot for me. Just fine detail. Fine, beautiful detail. The art has dried out, we've brought it in, and we're bringing in an independent adjudicator because we're all biased. John?
Speaking.
Please, come and judge the art. Would you hang any of them in your house?
I would.
That was the most polite fake I would.
No, I would. I'm gonna go for the winner. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Well done, Michael.
Thank you.
So it's not very often that I get to have a look at anything like this, because normally Johnny is all over this like a rash. But today I get to look at a fine pair of Boss side lock ejectors. So we have a fine pair of 12 gauge Boss from 1899. These are made for Lord Cecil Manners. These are stunning. They have had the barrel sleeved, which is quite common on older guns. 30-inch. If you can see the beautiful acanthus scroll, a floral bouquet scroll work. They have gold inlay cocking indicators, improved single triggers. But if you look, every single detail on these guns has been done to the highest finish. So I've just put number 1 together. As I said, it's a matched pair. Very shootable. You would not believe the age of these guns. They are absolutely stunning. I'd love to do a game day with these. Not that I ever get the chance. So these are probably valued between about 27 to 30,000 for the pair. So I do shoot a side by side. I have got a few in my collection, but I don't shoot them regularly. But I did shoot the English Side-by-Side Championships this year, and I didn't finish that far behind Simon Reinhold. Well, only 13 clays, but who's counting? 13 clays is nothing. Would I buy them? If I had 30 grand, I probably would if I wanted a nice pair. They are just, there's just something special about them compared to the newer side-by-sides that are coming out. The craftsmanship, the workmanship that's gone into them, they're just every little detail. You could probably get these out of the cabinet and just sit there with a nice glass of whiskey and just look over them for hours and find new bits every time you look at it. One day I'd love a set like this, but for now I just get to admire them and look at them, which isn't a bad thing. There's not many people out there that get to hold a pair of 30 grand Boss shotguns, so today's a pretty good day.
Last week, and actually this week as well, it's a bit cold. So me, Ryan and Johnny have decided it'd be the perfect opportunity to test some new gear. This is the Sovereign Field Coat by Ridgeline. Completely windproof, waterproof as you'd expect. Comes with these big cartridge pockets there so you can really fill up. Comes with stays as well, so they'll stay open, which is a good feature on game days. You've got two very, very nice and comfortable fleece lined pockets, which are actually zippered, so if it's raining and you don't want to use them, the fleece doesn't get wet. You've got drainage holes in the pockets, lots of different hidden pockets and all that sort of thing. You've actually got a fold away hood as well, so if it's raining you don't have to have the hood out. And that foldable hood is actually removable as well. Very, very warm, it's insulated, waterproof outside. It's actually, as it's a field coat, comes down a bit longer, which means if you sit down on something wet, you don't get a wet bum, which is always nice. It's got a full length zip, which actually has another one on there, so you can actually split it up in half. Reinforced elbows. And another nice little feature to finish off is the adjustable cuffs. These currently retail for about £200. Ridgeline gear, it's not the cheapest out there, but it's not the most expensive either. It's just good value work gear, really. That's all you can say. It just works, and as you can see, it looks nice too.
And on that bombshell, Michael actually won entirely by himself. We had no input into his
No
art.
input at all, he done it. Yeah. Well done, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Well done on your first win.
I honestly am shocked. Not shocked at the result from the rifles. That was a foregone conclusion. Old guns were built in a more beautiful way. Modern rifles are just more accurate and better for killing stuff.
The lead speed, there's something special about shooting that gun. There's something special about holding that gun. The lift goes dead. There's no feel to it. There's nothing special about it.
It's a tool.
It's a tool. It's a great tool. It's an accurate tool. It does the job.
But would you want to drill holes like with one of those old metal things on a daily basis?
No.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
Get Makita.
Straight through.
Yeah.
Yeah, horses for courses.
I thoroughly enjoyed making gun art.
I did. Probably a little bit too much. I don't know what other people are going to think about it. They'll be like, you're just wasting your time. It's not art. But it is art, apart from Michael's one. Mine is much better.
Guys, I learned a lot today. I had a lot of fun, and more importantly, I'll see you at the British Shooting Show.
I can't wait. We're going to be really busy filming on Friday, but Saturday, Sunday, keep an eye on the social media because we'll be doing a few meet and greets. People want to come up and say hello, have a drink, have a chat.
We'll see you there. Go buy tickets on the website now, or you can buy them on the door, but they're more expensive. Thank you for watching, guys. This channel is made possible by our amazing sponsors. You can find out more about them in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You get loads of extra content, well, some extra content, and occasionally we hook up and go clay shooting together as a membership group. If you don't feel like joining today, we really appreciate you watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.